So today's video is how to spot a liar, and I'm going to give you 6 ways that you can use right now if you're a little skeptical about whether somebody's telling the truth. So the first one is to surprise them and ask them questions differently, because most of the time they know the words and their lies down to a T, and the details that they're going to say if ever they're confronted with those questions. So what you want to do here is to see how many answers they can actually give. You see, a deceptive person will try to anticipate your questions so that their answers sound instinctive and natural. They may even practice answering specific questions ahead of time. So flip the story perhaps. Ask questions starting from the end and then cycle back. Ask them something they don't expect and they'll stumble. Point number 2, listen more than you speak. You see, liars tend to speak more than truthful people in an attempt often to sound legitimate and win over their audience. They will also use more complex sentences as well to kind of hide the truth. Now, a very quick disclaimer here is that some people are just trained to speak. They've been on courses, they've learned techniques in terms of psychology, they've learned neuro-linguistic programming as well. So these people are going to be much harder to spot when they're lying. Point number 3, ask for the story backwards. You see, truthful people tend to add details and remember more facts as they repeat their story. Liars, on the other hand, well, they memorize their stories and just try and keep them the same. If they add details, they often just don't add up. If you suspect, therefore, someone is lying or being deceptive, ask the person to recall the events backwards rather than forwards. For example, start at the end of the story and ask them to explain what happened just before the end, or even in the middle perhaps. Now this will really test them because liars often simplify their story to avoid contradicting themselves. But if you do this well enough, you will start to spot some cracks. Whereas truthful people, well, it'll actually make their recall much easier. Point number 4, beware of too many compliments. I mean, don't get me wrong, there are genuinely nice people that exist in this world. But watch out if someone is trying to make almost too much effort to make a good impression, agreeing with everything you say, constantly offering praise, and even laughing at all your jokes. Some of these traits, well, they just lack authenticity and sincerity. So make sure that you're at least aware of this. Point 5, ask follow-up questions. Remember, none of us want to be lied to, but it's really important you ask as many follow-up questions as possible, because the majority of the time, liars are often looking for a particular outcome, especially from the conversation. They need that outcome that they have in their head, and their story is important. So therefore, we need to dive into that story a little bit more. And if you do this to somebody who is lying, you're going to notice their lies, their deception, their body language, and just their whole demeanor change. And finally, like a true FBI agent, this is an important point, and it's to build rapport. Now, experience has shown that, well, the good cop usually gets better results than the bad cop. So you want to come across as empathetic in the conversation. And over time, you're going to get that person to open up. And if they feel that you believe everything they say, then they may just let their guard down, and you may just find some inconsistencies in their stories. So hopefully you found this video useful. It's definitely something that I think every single one of us should at least know the basics of. But I promise you, cracks will always show the more you ask for details, the more you reverse those stories, and the more follow-up questions that you ask. So until next time, thank you so much for staying to the end of the video. Please do hit that subscribe button and like button. And let me know if you enjoyed this video, or any comments or feedback, and any other types of content that you required. So until next time, thanks for watching.